Yeah, welcome to the Making of Me podcast, where we explore the personal growth, energy alignment, and practical strategy of creating life you truly desire. Our today's guest is Kelsey Aida, a bestseller author, energetic alignment coach, and co-host of the top 0.1% podcast, High Webin, which has over half a million downloads. Kelsey help people break through subconscious resistance, release self-sabotage, and align their energy to manifesting or to manifestation actually work. Beyond vision board and surface level mindset shift. She is the author of Letter to the Universe, My Pocket Guide to Manifestation, and a forthcoming book, Manifesting Our Feast of 2026, of its kind guide that addresses why manifestation efforts fail and how to remove internal block. It's really a pleasure and honor to have you on the show, Aida.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Aida, what were some of the challenge that shape you into who you have become?
Yeah, so the biggest, most noteworthy challenge that made me into this author and podcaster and healer was going through depression in my late teens and early adulthood. I was actually training my whole life to be a ballerina, but then I got injured, and then that kind of spiraled me into a huge depressive episode. And towards the end of the 3 years, I just had this moment, and I was like, I'm sick and tired of feeling like this. Like, I need to enjoy my life again. I need to figure it out. So I said a prayer and I was like, God, universe, spirit team, whoever's out there, just send help. I will do whatever you send me. I will listen. I will act on it. Like, I need to know how to enjoy my life again. And so, in doing that, of course, I asked. And what I received was a great shaman to start working with, a therapist to start working with, all the books, all the podcasts, everything about manifestation, healing, emotions, vibration. And I just dove into all of it. I started feeling better. And when I started feeling better, I was just like, man, everybody needs to know this stuff. Why isn't this more commonplace? And that's when I decided, or maybe realized, that I was supposed to be an author sharing all this information. And that's the biggest turning point that turned me into who I am today.
Wow, that was really amazing. The fact that yes, you pray, and then the answers to it was the manifestation of everything that you actually more like a clamor forward. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So, how did you become an alignment coach and manifestation expert?
Yeah, so when I decided to become an author, I was like, well, I don't want to just write books for nobody to read them. So I need to start blogging. I need to build an email list. I need to build a platform. So at first, I started just teaching about anxiety, depression, affirmations, things were helping me, manifesting, just owning your power. And that over the years kind of escalated into a podcast called High Vibe in It, retreats. And then the retreats is really what initiated me into being a coach, because at the retreats, I would work with these women to help them love themselves more, manifest their best life. And then afterwards, I wanted to offer support to keep working with them. And so with the retreat came like however many weeks of coaching. And at the end of it, a bunch of the women were like, no, you can't stop coaching us. We need you to be our coach. And so I was like, okay. So I just like created a package and started offering it. And it's been years now since that happened, but now I work one on one with lots of people from all over the world, not just people I've worked with in person at my retreats, to basically figure out like what their blockages are. Maybe they have blockages to loving themselves or to healing or to their goals, and kind of lovingly, compassionately work through those so that they can come into alignment with what they really want. So that's why I call it energetic alignment coaching, because it could be, working on the level
Yeah.
of your thoughts to align your thoughts with what you want. It could be doing energy work. I also am an energy worker, so I help people move energy through their body if there's a blockage there. It could be in your subconscious mind, something's going on funky that we need to address. So it's like the energy manifests in all different forms, and we can work with it on different levels to help align you with the life that you want.
Amazing. Yeah, this is really amazing. Align you with the life you actually want. So there's this affirmation that people usually have, and fake it till you make it. Why does this strategy often fail?
Yeah, so the fake it till you make it, I actually wrote about this in my new book, The Manifesting Fix. I hate that phrase. I hate it because It's very oversimplified and it makes people feel bad about themselves. So, for example, let's say you want to be a millionaire, but you're not. What does faking it look like? Are you overspending? Are you using
Yeah.
affirmations that make you feel stupid? Like, oh, I have $10 million in the bank. Like, lying to yourself is not going to help your life, right? What we want to do is think thoughts and say affirmations that are true and expansive, and we want to start to embody the millionaire version of ourselves now, which is different than faking it till you make it, because you're actually embodying it until you more fully become familiar with that sensation. So in this example of manifesting money, it would be like, why do I want to have this money? So I can feel safe, so I can feel abundant, so I can feel successful. Okay, so you've narrowed down those feelings. Start to cultivate those feelings in your body now. Where in your life are you already successful? Where do you feel abundant? Do you have an abundance of friends, an abundance of food, an abundance of blessing, an abundance of great ideas? Like, everyone has an abundance of something,
Yeah.
right? When you can tap into that, truly feel abundant, then you're actually vibrating at the frequency of abundance, and then the money can actually come. It's more of a side effect and less of, I need this money to happen so I can feel the way that I want to feel. So you're not faking it till you make it. You're figuring out what you truly want, and then you're cultivating those energies now in all kinds of creative ways. And in doing so, you are embodying the person you're trying to become. And that's very different than
Yeah.
faking it.
Amazing. I think they just speak volume in that fake you to you make it does not embody any responsibility. It does not embody any kind of to-do list towards becoming that particular making it. It's just the fact that yeah, you just put out the fake stuff and get to see what the outcome could be. And I think this is that's is really biased, just the way you said, and the fact that yeah, knowing what you want earlier on and getting to kind of jot down what's looking into your life, what is abundance, what are those things that you can actually put in place towards achieving it. And yeah, it's amazing. So what is the missing piece in manifestation that most people overlook?
Yeah, so manifesting has been, in my opinion, wildly oversimplified, right? They say just ask and you'll receive, just fake it till you make it, just act positive and you'll have a positive life, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, but there are steps in between the asking and receiving that nobody talks about,
Yeah.
which is where I come into play. In my new book, The Manifesting Fix, is all about this. And basically, the thesis is that the only thing standing between you and everything you say that you want is internal resistance that you probably don't even know is there. So, first, we have to identify what is my resistance. And from there, we can work through it, we can troubleshoot it, and then on the other side of resistance, you come into alignment with your goal, and then anything is possible from there. So, for example, let's say you want to manifest love, but a part of you is still so hurt from the last relationship fiasco that it's like, heck no, we ain't gonna manifest love. Dating apps are horrible. All men are
Yeah.
terrible. This will never work out. I don't deserve love, blah, blah, blah. And all these parts of you come to the surface that are like, no, we don't want it. That's your resistance. That's where we get curious. That's what we start to work with. And then we can help those aspects of us feel more safe and feel more aligned with love. Because right now, love is what you say you want, but it feels like a threat. So we have to make it feel safe. That will help bring your resistance down. And in the absence of resistance, you'll be aligned with it. And then when you go on the first, second, and third date, you're not sabotaging. You're actually opening yourself up to meet nice people. When someone comes into your life, you know, accept their compliments, you get curious about it, you explore it. So it's not that you don't know what you want or you're not acting towards it, but a lot of the time it's just that you don't realize what your blockages and resistance is, and that it's causing this push-pull energy. Like, I want it,
Yeah.
but I don't want it. Consciously I want it, but a part of me is like, no, not safe. We're not doing that.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, manifestation isn't as easy as it sounds. There's a whole lot of stuff that need to be put in place before getting it. So how do you help clients align their thoughts, belief, and actions with their goals?
Yeah, so the first step is we have to figure out what the goal is.
Mm.
And by what the goal is, I mean, what's the goal of your goal? Because most people think, oh, my goal is to manifest the house or the career or the car or the relationship or this financial status or whatever it is. But it's like, we need to dig deeper. What do you think that thing is going to give you? What are the feelings that you're truly after in creating this life or having this thing? Those feelings, that's what you really want. So in the example we were talking about before of, I want more money so I can feel abundant, so I can feel safe, so I can feel successful. That's what you want. You want the essence of success, of abundance, of safety. So now that we're clear on that, we can start to move towards it. Okay, what's stopping you from feeling abundant now? What's stopping you from feeling safe now? Is it a talk track you've been saying for years and years and years? Is it a story you've been telling yourself? Is it something that happened to you that you're not quite fully healed from yet? Like, there are so many ways it can show up, but we just have to get really clear on what do we actually want? What's the goal of the goal? And what's been stopping us from feeling those feelings. And in doing that, you do like 90% of the work. And then from there, manifestation becomes more fun, more playful, more effortless, because you're actually energetically matching the thing that you say you want.
Energetic manifesting what you say you want. Yeah, thank you for the blueprint there. Yeah, amazing. So how do unknowingly resist block what they want, even when they are motivated?
Yeah. So let's say you're like really motivated to make more money. And
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going to ask for a raise at work. Okay, cool, amazing. So you ask for the raise and you don't get it. Then you're like, crap, that was my one plan to make more money. What am I going to do now? I don't have any other talents. I don't want to start a side hustle. It's like, okay, let's rewind for a second. The external resistance is usually just a manifestation of your internal resistance. So what you might not realize is, yes, I want to manifest more money, but I think all rich people are equal. Or I want to manifest more money, but I don't want to pay more in taxes. I want to manifest more money, but I don't want to take on more responsibility that I think is required to make more money. So it's like, you say you want it, you're working towards it, you're even asking for the raise, but are you really open to the money? Because so much of your internal is like, no thank you, right? So that's the type of resistance that we're talking about. And in my book, The Manifesting Fix, I go into like all the different ways we resist things and how to stop resisting in that particular way. So for example, one way that we resist a lot is we have like worthiness wounds where we're like, oh, I don't feel worthy of the love or the money or whatever. And it's like, you just need to love yourself more. Here's the process to bring more self-love into your life. Then that wound is not an issue anymore. Or let's say for so many people, it's fear, right? We're scared of success. We're scared of failure. We're scared of change. We are just scared of everything, right? And fear in and of itself is not really a problem. But if you let the fear stop you and convince you that you truly are so unsafe that you shouldn't go for it, then yeah, fear is going to be a blockage. So how do we undo our fear? How do we make our fear feel safe? How do we love ourselves through the fear and say, yes, I'm scared, but also I'm doing it anyway? So it's like there's so many ways that these resistance and blockages can come up that I had to write a whole book on it. So you can't just like put it in an Instagram post or one podcast episode, right? Because each chapter is dedicated to a way we resist and how to stop resisting in that way, if that makes sense.
Amazing, amazing. External reality is the manifestation of what the internal is all about. Yeah, it's really amazing being that you're asking for the raise, but internally you have a different feelings and a different perception. Like, and the resistance you get to feel is owing to what you have in the within. Yeah, it's really a whole lot. So, what is your personal favorite method of manifesting effectively?
Effective manifestation. As far as my process, whenever I want something new, I like to write it down. So, one of my older books called Letters to the Universe, it's a scripting journal. Whenever I have a new desire or I want to up level in some area, I get out my Letters to the Universe journal. And yes, I do use my own book because in the book, I laid out like 10 questions to ask yourself to get really clear about what you want, why you want it, maybe what's been stopping you. And then I love to script about it and write a letter to the universe. So this can look like, hey, universe, thank you in advance for sending me the raise or whatever it is. I'm super excited to be in this new role, working with these new people on this new project, whatever it is. It feels really good to be valued in this way. I love that I have more money to eat out 5 times a month or whatever it is. And you're just kind of daydreaming in the present tense. That's a really, really fun, powerful way to work with your visualization in the form of writing. So if you like writing or journaling, that's a good one for you. But another way is to do it in the mind in the form of meditation. So if you're visual and you see a lot of stuff in your mind's eye, it would be great to do this exercise visually so you can meditate on how you're going to feel, what it's going to look like, who's there with you, what's going on, as if it's already happening, and just disbelief for the 10 to 15 minutes that you're doing this. Like, if we were to assume anything was possible and we didn't need to know how it was going to happen yet, let yourself go there and just get excited about it without like, oh, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. How am I going to make that happen? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. If you were just going to go to the end state and hang out there a little bit, let that energize and excite your body, and the how will be revealed to you next.
Amazing. Yeah, imagine it and actually more like, yeah, imagining it, brood over it, and a whole lot of things learning here being that sometimes I think the mind does not know the difference between reality and imagination. And the fact,
It doesn't.
yeah,
It doesn't.
yeah, and the fact that you're able to call about sit through your mind eyes, a whole lot of possibility. And I think this was what Stephen actually Mala put in his book. Is it Stephen Covey, right? Where he make reference of the first creation, first thing in the mind, being able to kind of bet the reality of what we get to want. And I think that's what put us in a particular space where the internal every manifestation get to start shifting towards receiving that particular request. Yeah, being that it's in constant vibration towards getting that desired result or into what you have actually more like seen that you have actually get to picture in the future. Yeah, amazing, amazing. So how do we distinguish between surface level mindset shift and the true inner alignment?
That's a good question. I think it kind of comes back to getting really clear about the goal of the goal, which seems to be a theme of this conversation. But like, really getting curious, what do I truly want? And that way you're not chasing the wrong things. Because someone might think, oh, I want this luxury car, but really if you just want it so you can pick up chicks so you can get a relationship,
Yeah,
what you really want is a relationship. So like, why don't you go straight for that, right? Or if you say, you know, you want this big house because whatever reason, it's like, do you really want the big house, or do you just want to like be by the water more often? You know, so it's like questioning first before you design your whole life around this thing that you say you want is very helpful, because sometimes we confuse what I call the surface desire, which is the thing, right? The relationship, the house, the car, whatever. We confuse our surface desire with our genuine desire, which is the essence, the feeling, the emotional state, the who we want to become in creating that reality
yeah,
is more so like what we want on a soul level. So I think just remembering that the journey of manifestation isn't only a process of creating and co-creating, but it's also a process of becoming. And I think that God tricks us into becoming better versions of ourselves by planting these little visions and desires in our
yeah,
hearts to have that relationship, or to be seen, or to make money, or to be healthy, or whatever it is. And then pursuing that dream changes you. So it's not just that you're creating, but you're also becoming. And the thing you really want at the end of the day is to be that version of yourself.
yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So lastly, where can my listener go to learn more, access your resources, and how can they connect with you? Where's the best platform?
Yeah, so if you go to kelseyaida.com, that's where you can find all my stuff. The Manifesting Fix, my new book, is already available for pre-order anywhere where you guys order books. So you can just look up The Manifesting Fix, Kelsey Aida, pre-order that. That'll be in the show notes. I'll send you the link so you can put that there. And I'm everywhere. High Vibin' It podcast, if you guys like spiritual podcasts, which you probably do if you're listening to this, is a great free resource. So go check that out. I co-host it with a hypnotherapist, and it's a really fun time. But other than that, yeah, just my website. And I'm also Kelsey Aida everywhere, like on all the socials.
Yeah, thank you so much, Casey Aida. You just shows that manifestation isn't just about visualizing, it's about identifying and releasing resistance to create realignment. From our audience who want to yeah, you can pre-order our upcoming book, The Manifesting Fix, and get access to bonus, and check the show notes and you get to see the link. It's really a pleasure and honor having you on the show, Aida.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.